Hello, everybody. Today is Saturday, the 20th of November, 2021. And as I always say, I hope you are all very well today. I'm Mr. Brown, and welcome to the channel. A busy week in the land of entertainment. The main snippets of news are Kathleen Kennedy, Star Trek Discovery, Ghostbusters Afterlife, Spider-Man Multiverse, blah, 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 blah. Shall we get the guests out? I think we should. Got a lot to do today, so we'll just get on with it and we'll just get on with it, yeah. So, first off, she is the princess of Xanadu, but she's the queen of this channel, all the way from the land of Texas Landshire. It's Reni A.
Hey, Mr. Brown.
I hope.
Hey, chat. I'm good. How are you?
Ready? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you not hear me? Hello? Am I coming through?
Reni, are you
Can
there?
you not? Can you not hear
I
me?
don't think she can hear me. I think she's blobbed out. Shall we try the next guest? I think we should. Okay, so get your pot noodles ready. It's the vice president of the channel and a true hydrated food connoisseur all the way from Las Vegas. Here he is. It's hopefully technology permitting. Not Brian Young.
Hey, evening all. How's it going?
Hey.
Not bad. I think Reni's going critical mass, don't you?
I can hear Reni fine. I don't know why you can't.
Oh, okay.
A bit strange.
Bear with me then. Reni?
Yeah, can you hear me now? No? Brian?
Reni.
Fine, I can hear you fine, Reni. Tell you
Yeah,
what, you say some stuff and I'll pass it on to Brown for you.
How about
Let's do it the hard way.
Yeah.
what I'll do is I'll drop out of
Reni,
the chat
I can't
and
hear
then
you.
I'll come
you may
back.
need to do some things at your end. I do apologise.
She says, Reni says she's going to disappear, try and sort her settings, and you're a bit of a twat, she says. So,
well, that goes without saying. Everybody knows I'm a twat, but are you good, my friend?
I'm not too bad. I've had the week from hell, but I'm looking forward to this one. Should be a good one.
Yeah, got lots to do today, so shall we just get on with it? Yeah.
Let's get the next guest out.
Okay, next up, he's the wise elder of the channel, the writer, portal director, paid-up member of Selfridges Appreciation Society. He likes the seats. He's the mega geek, Ian David Diaz. Where is he? Here he is.
Hello.
You're right, pal.
Yeah, I'm all right. I can hear Reni fine. I don't know why you can't hear her.
Must be me. Right? Let's see if she's here. She's back. Reni, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes.
Yay.
Well, Reni.
I was like, what the hell? Brown hating on me or what? Because everybody else could hear me.
Yeah.
Reni's here. We can party again.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, because the guys in the chat were like, I can hear her. And I'm like, okay, is Brown punking me? Am I getting punked? Is this like, remember that 1990s like MTV show Punked with Ashton Kutcher? Oh, God, it was so
good. Remember it.
I'm afraid so.
Trust me, I'm in a world of hurt trying to stay professional, but are you well?
Yeah. How about you guys?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah. I just finished watching Ghostbusters, so it's fresh in my head.
Yeah, we all have. Okay. Shall we get the next guest out? I think we should.
Do it.
Next, he's the jester from Leicester. Watch out, War and Peace. It's the great man himself. We think this guy is a professional. Here we go. Hello, mate.
Professional of what?
Well, we don't know.
Bodie and Doyle, mate. Professionals.
Hello, swappers.
I'll take that. Yeah. Hello, everybody. It's good to see you. And I've been busy writing. Writing Wookiee dialogue is not easy. Let me tell you.
Okay, so it's not Mr. Sandman lyrics.
Well, yeah, but they're as a Wookiee would say them, so you wouldn't necessarily understand it.
Okay.
In the chat, Peacat says Reni sounds loud and screeching. She always does, mate.
Eat
That was
dick,
bizarre.
Peacat.
I was just
dare
sitting there
you.
thinking, like, what is Brown playing at? Seriously, you can hear her like seriously loud right there.
My
Like,
games.
we thought it was your end, but
Let's
once it
play a
wasn't.
game, Brown.
This is war.
I got some jigsaw mentality going on here, so
Oh no!
do it.
Oh no! Shall we get the next guest out?
Do it.
Please do.
Last up, this fucker has got more lives than my cat. 9 times on the channel, the Hollywood legend in his own mind, live from Auntie Kathy's milking parlor somewhere in Hollywood. The man baby himself. Ruin franchise buster Johnson.
Hello, man babies. It's a trilogy of trilogies in terms of appearances, and I have to say, Brown, when you couldn't hear
Knobhead,
Reni,
are you there?
I'm here for God's sake. Can you hear me, Brown? What's going on with your goddamn computer?
Fucking
We need to start a GoFundMe for a new computer for Brown.
Oi,
You can't hear
Knobhead. No,
You
I
can't
can't
hear
hear
him?
him. I can't hear him.
Well,
No.
I can hear him fine.
Yeah,
If
I-
everyone else
as
can
well.
hear me, I can tell them
You
all how much of a
motherfuckers are
knob
punking me,
Mr.
aren't you?
Brown is.
Yes.
I was going to retort to your man babies and do the whole Aowen thing and I am no man. But, it's lost because Brown
Oi.
couldn't hear you.
Well,
Oi,
can't you
man
hear us?
baby.
Brown, you need to upgrade your ZX Spectrum, you
I think-
pancake idiot.
We can hear him, Brown.
Good for you. I fucking can't.
Brown, I'm cancelled writing my trilogy
Everybody in the
to be
chat,
on
I
this
think they're taking a
appearance,
piss
for
out of me,
God's
don't
sake.
you?
No, we can hear
No,
him.
we can
seriously.
hear
Right.
you and just
Okay, Ruin. I'll tell you what I'm going to do then. Ruin, you're going to have to drop off
I'll go and
and
come
back
back.
on.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
That's what worked for me.
You operating from a Commodore 64 or something, Ian? Are you? What's
He's
going
using,
on?
yeah. He's using the
Don't
old
get-
school Macintosh that they came out with in the 90s.
Don't get cute.
I can't help it. I'm
We
always
don't have
cute.
to get cute. We are cute.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Well, I cannot proceed with the show until Knobhead appears because it's all about him and Shill Wars.
Of course.
So, shall we just talk amongst ourselves? So, chilly weather today.
Yeah.
Well,
Breezy. It'll be breezy.
it was crazy at my place until about 2 hours ago. So they were doing yard work, but like extensive yard work where they were cutting down tree limbs and putting them through the wood chipper. So that was excruciatingly loud.
Speaking of putting through the wood chipper, can you hear me?
Brown, you giant Yorkshire arsehole, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Excellent.
Well done.
Hello.
You should change your name
Jeez,
to
how we
Giant
doing?
Yorkshire Asshole. I like it.
Yes, it's an integral part of a Yorkshireman's Sunday lunch. The giant arsehole. But yes, great to be back, everyone. Trilogy of trilogy performances, and
9 times.
looking forward to talking Shill Wars and Ghostbusters. And obviously, I should be directing the new Ghostbusters. But anyway, we'll get to that later.
Big week in Shill Wars this week. Shall we just get on with it?
Yes, please do, because what a fantastic week we had. We had some fantastic performances, and I think what we're reviewing now is the impending semi-finals. So, I mean, what a match this is. We have the legendary Brian Young, our very own Brian Young, looking particularly dapper there, and you've got to admire the man's dedication to having a jet black goatee beard. I mean, it really is a work of art. And he's going up against, well, he's possibly this year's favourite. It's Kevin Smith. He's trying to take my mantle as destroyer of franchises, but yes, what's a semi-final? What do we all think? Who's going to come through that one?
Shall we give the pleasure of Reni? Do you want to go first?
I'm voting for, even though I'm really excited about Clerks 3, I'm still going to vote for Kevin Smith because he's been a total fucking asshole and a giant shill this year. So Kevin Smith for the win.
Swap shop.
Out of these two, I've got to agree. It's Smith all the way, isn't it? Really? I mean, you don't get a bigger man baby than someone with who wears a 10-year-old's get-up and cries at every opportunity. So I'm totally voting for that.
With the Dainsley reversed cap as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's only like 50 years old and acting like he's an adolescent. No big deal.
Yeah.
Well, I think we all do. Mega Geek, any thoughts? Do you know who these people are? I think you know who Kevin Smith is. Smith
all the way, mate. Smith's an idiot. He really is. I used to really like him at one point, but he's just an idiot now. Let's face it. Yeah, it's going to be Smith, definitely. I do like Brian Young, though.
Somebody's got to, and not Brian Young.
not Brian Young.
Oh, I can't believe Steele got the ass in the quarterfinals, mate. Fucking disgusted. Yes, my special tip for a place in the final went out on his backside to not Brian Young, the reigning, no, not the reigning, can't be it's the reigning, but 2 times holder of the Shill Wars trophy. I'm going to have to go for Kevin Smith here. Well, not specifically for his shilling this year. His shilling has been in the past. It's more for his franchise destruction. And what could be better than that to win Shill Wars? He will face competition from a dark horse who's just entered the fray. But yes, Kevin Smith gets my vote.
As the presenter of the show, I do not have an opinion because I'm supposed to be impartial.
Oh, it's like goddamn question time.
I've been given some heat this week.
Oh, Brownie took a little
on the Twatterverse.
Yes.
I'm wondering what that tattoo says on Kevin Smith's hand.
Homer race car bedroom vibe. Oh, sorry, that's me.
I think it says race.
Try on demand.
Ray Skywalker. Don't think so. Oh, it might do, since he's a bit of a. Yeah.
So I'm kind of thinking we're all agreed, except myself, because obviously I'm impartial. I think the chat probably agrees as well. Smith is a walkover to the final, literally.
Yeah.
Well, I'll give you the respective stats. Yes, so Brian actually rather dominated Steele. He won it with 69% of the vote. But Kevin Smith actually had a very close match with Pablo Hidalgo, and he snuck through 52%. It was an extremely close one. So we'll see. But Kevin looking pretty good this year.
Come on, let's make him cry for real.
Wow.
Hopefully he'll show up for the award.
Before I switch on to the next slide, quickly, which is Kevin Smith's greatest achievement, guys, do you think?
Clerks.
Crying. That's as good
Swappers?
as Guy's an idiot.
Has Endless Waterworks, yeah. Personally, my favourite of his was Mallrats. But as far as his modern day persona goes, it's got to be his involvement with Masters of the Universe when he's just made an absolute twat of himself, and just a complete example of how not to behave to fandoms. So I think that's his new career, isn't it?
Yeah. Brian, any thoughts before we quickly move on?
No, just quickly move on, I think.
Yeah, I think his greatest achievement is he killed He-Man twice. So moving on.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
If somebody can Photoshop a bag of dicks, like slapping him in the face in this pic, that would be perfect.
I think we'll save that for the end of the year, don't you?
Okay.
I will say also, Man Baby Ruin, notice the updated graphics.
Oh.
Right.
There we go. Oh, we're skipping to the. We're on the. Yes, of course, we're on the other side of the bracket. Very well done, Mr. Brown, on the graphics. I do appreciate that. Obviously the imaging software works fine. If only the goddamn volume would work on your computer would be fine. But
nothing to do with me, mate. 15 minutes.
Okay, so.
Nothing.
Blame Apple.
Well,
then.
look, this is the most unlikely of semi-finals. I really did not have these chaps down to make the semi-finals. So Scott Mendelson has been nothing short of phenomenal this year. He beat Alex Damon, who's the reigning champion. He then beat Chuck Wendig in the last round, and now he's in the semi-final, and he's going up against Atat Chatu. I don't know if you remember, but he's our wild card entry.
Wild is livid at me.
Oh, he certainly is. Brownie.
Really?
He's after that Yorkshire horse of yours. But yes, he beat.
Hilarious.
He's not my type.
He beat Freddie Prinze Jr. in the last matchup, and yes, I mean this is the unexpected semi-final. What do we all think?
Oh, Mendelson.
My mind is
I'm going to go with Mendelson.
See, everyone's voting for Mendelson. I'm on Atat Chat side here. I'm really pushing for him to go away again.
Just to watch him explode and go nuts.
Yeah,
that would be funny.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, apparently this is cyberbullying, which I do not condone.
You're giving him an award. You don't bully. You don't give an award to someone you bully.
Invite him on the show to defend himself if he wins.
Oh yeah,
it's an open invite. Any of these can come on the channel.
Get Kevin Smith on, for God's sake.
If I will say, if for one moment I thought there was actually any genuine malice or hate or any nastiness from any of you guys, especially you, Ruin.
Me?
Yes, you. It is a fine line, but I think we're not on the dark side, as it were. Because if it was, I would pull the plug. That's me being serious for a moment. So
I know, Brownie. I have to say, in all seriousness, Shill Wars is tongue-in-cheek, bit of fun, nothing personal, no personal insults, no hate, certainly no bullying. And if people cannot roll with the laughs and have a bit of fun with it, then that's their problem. We live in a goddamn world where everyone's far too sensitive. God knows, I take the piss out of myself more than anyone. And yes, people need to get over themselves. It's a little bit of fun. And at the end of the day, I'm offering a championship to someone. What could be more complimentary?
Well, here's the thing, right? If they hadn't made a complete horse's ass of themselves in the first place, they wouldn't be nominated for these lovely awards.
Exactly.
Yes, but
they did it to themselves.
Yeah, no. Again, this is a fine line stuff. In certain circles, horse ass. In other circles, hero. That's the fine line, you see.
Yeah, true. So if you think you're a so-called hero, then come and accept the award.
I'm going to say one thing on this matter. We're not going to win by saving what we hate. We'll win by not loving what we save.
Oh, it gets more convoluted. I love it.
Right, okay. So, Brian, thoughts?
I'm afraid I'm going to have to go for Atat Chat here. He has come into this competition with the same amount of enthusiasm as Renfamous and Renfamous's crew did. I think he could be a real challenger to Kevin Smith this year. And it's something that the competition absolutely needed at this point. I will have to say that, sadly, my tip, my man, Steel Saunders, went out in his ass earlier on. So I would like to put a personal Atat Chat recommendation for him to at least get to the final. And I know he's suffering from the flu. We'd like to wish him from all the best with that, but hope it doesn't affect his performance, because I think you can take Mendelson easily. My tip, Atat Chat. Get on it.
Some of the bigger channels really do not like Scott Mendelson, but Atat Chat, I think he's looking at this in the wrong way. He should be proud that he's beating this mofo who everybody hates. Anyway, moving on. Reni.
Well, I said Scott Mendelson, so I'll stick with it. But I kind of wanted to change my answer since I didn't know he was feeling so quote unquote attacked, which is an SJW behavior.
20 minutes.
The quote unquote "I feel attacked" thing. But yeah, I do think that Mendelsohn is a worse shill, but AT-AT Chat is a bigger baby apparently, and can't take praise when it's given. So yeah, that's a tough one, but I'll stick with my original because Mendelsohn is a bigger shill.
I've always been of the opinion that when people are not talking about you or taking the piss out of you, that's the time to worry. But that's just me. Mega Geek, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I don't follow any of this stuff. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I only know Kevin Smith's an idiot, but all this stuff, I have no idea about. I don't even know who Scott Mendelsohn is. I don't know who AT-AT Chat is. So we're talking about people that what do they do?
That's a good question. What do they do?
Shill for Disney Star Wars, like nobody's business. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But I can't really comment because, as I said, I don't follow this stuff. I have zero interest in this.
Shall we move on then? Yes. I will just say that obviously Mega Geek is rooting for AT-AT Chat.
No, he's not. He's rooting for Mendelsohn. Damn it!
I don't know who they are.
Now I am 53 and old. Swap Shop, I've asked you.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Right. Okay. So it is obviously Ruin.
What, you'd like my divine opinion on this matter, would you?
Always.
Oh, well, I was wondering when you'd ask. Yes, so, look, this is a total surprise. I think Scott Mendelsohn they're both debutants on Shill Wars, amazingly. Scott Mendelsohn, he's a Forbes critic, and he is a shill of the highest order, and he's done incredibly well this year. But AT-AT Chat, as Brian rightly said, has mobilized his army of fans, if we can call them that, and it got him through the vote from Freddie Prinze Jr. He's asking to be voted for, to be supported, and it could.
I thought that also, yeah.
Yes, and Brownie, I do want to ask you, Brownie. You took a little bit of heat this week from one or two of the AT-AT Chat babies. So please enlighten the gang. What the hell happened?
Oh, please.
I have been accused of being essentially a toxic 53-year-old who rags on younger people, and AT-AT Chat in his virtuous signaling mode said, I'm not going to be like that in 20 years' time. I'm going to encourage everybody to be the best they can.
I think that was
someone
else who said that. I think that was
whoever it was.
My good friend Mike from Down Under.
Oh, Mike.
And that's a terrible thing to say. There's absolutely no way that you're 53. I mean, you're only 52 and a half at this point, so it's really slander.
Yeah. More importantly, Matt G is in the chat. Hello, Matt G. And more importantly, we have reached that stage of the evening. Bacon, 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 bacon.
I still can't work out what this bacon stuff's all about. It makes no sense to me.
It started with me and putting like heaps of bacon in Doomcock's chat.
Okay. I'm not very much a Doomcock frequenter, so that went right over my head.
So, Ruin, do we, before we move on then, so do we think that AT-AT is deep down by complaining about all this, really wants to win it?
He does want to win it, yes.
I
think he's rather
playing a game, isn't he?
Yes, he's rather flattered that he's even in the mix with these big hitters. And yes, he just wants a little bit of exposure and he wants a little bit of sympathy. But the funny thing is, again, there's never any abuse or bullying or anything else. All I do is put the names on there and I say to people, have a vote. And occasionally, the only thing I'll ever do is sometimes I'll post one of their own tweets as evidence of their shillery. So if bullying is actually quoting back the very words they've said themselves, then they are not ready for the world, and they are certainly not ready for my trilogy. So they need to grow up.
His mom might beat you up,
Mr. Brown, may I take the Stephen Amore there if you can put it back up on the screen?
Have you not got keys to the channel to do this? Which one?
Well, I do, but you had it up there and I don't know what it is.
You mean you can't be asked?
Okay,
so
I am so
Stephen.
happy I am so happy that Stephen Amore is back in.
Hello, Stephen. We all are, mate.
He's
we all are.
Making a tentative return, and it gives me the opportunity to say, Stephen Amore in the chat says,
yes!
Young people of today don't know what Star Wars is. Bloody Daisy Ridley. She's never had a packet of Stardust.
You seriously should be making money from voiceovers.
Yeah.
I know.
Instead of
totally
wanking
agree.
yourself silly every day.
I just I feel a bit of comfort when
God.
Stephen Amore's in the chat. It's like the bass. It's like playing in a band with a good bass player.
Yeah.
You know that you're going to keep the time.
I'm sure Stephen will be the man to get you set up with that. Ruin, what are the stats before we move on?
Oh, you want the stats? Okay, let me refer to my rather detailed
Stat
Excel
book.
spreadsheets. Let me see.
Microsoft.
Okay, you've caught me on the hop there. You've caught me with my pants down there, Brownie. Just give me a moment. So at that chat, he dominated Freddie Prinze Jr. It was rather a shock. 64%. So he came through his game very strong. Scott Mendelson, much closer to fair against our old mate Chucky Wendig, but he did see off Chucky with 54% of the vote. So honestly, I have no idea which way this will go, but if Atat Chat can mobilize his fan base, I think Atat Chat Kevin Smith final is my prediction.
I think Atat should embrace it. And there is an open invite to come on here. And we will all laugh and giggle about Star Wars, slap our thighs, and think back in many years' time, wasn't that such a fantastic live stream? So, okay. So, what is the next stage then, Ruin? Are you going to run the semi-finals for 1 or 2 days?
It all concludes next week. We've got the first 2 semi-finals, as we've just been through.
Well,
we will then have a third, fourth place playoff.
What?
Yes, we're going to have a third, fourth place playoff. We need to give the gold, silver, and bronze medals. So there'll be a third, fourth place playoffs. Then there'll be the final, and we'll know who is our new Shill Wars champion by this time next week.
God, it's so exciting. Very, very exciting. Are the votes going to start on Monday then?
Votes start Monday. It's Brian versus Kevin Smith. Tune in at Ruin the Man Baby. Mega Geek, I want you there. I know you love it.
Yeah, right.
And I will just say again, if I actually thought that this was mean-spirited, nasty, all the usual kind of, I certainly would not do this. Just to be kind of, I have seen worse things on YouTube. Believe you me, this is at the lighter end of the scale. So, okay, so shall we move on then, guys? So, in honor of Ghostbusters Afterlife, which was released this week, has anybody seen it, by the way?
Yep.
Yes, I have.
No.
No.
Thoughts, Maggie? Quick sentence.
Very enjoyable.
Yeah, same here.
You wanted one sentence, didn't you? That was my one sentence. So,
Brian,
say a bit more because I've got a couple of things to say here. I don't want.
Okay, well, it's the negative side is that it takes too long to actually get started, and also there's little things in there that doesn't make any sense. But apart from that, I thought was very enjoyable. I don't want to give too much away. I don't want to give out spoilers. So that's the thing. So, but that's just my review. It is worth your time, in other words.
it is. I would thoroughly recommend it, guys. Brian?
Thoroughly recommend it, would you?
Not just recommend it, but thoroughly.
Thoroughly.
You didn't like it?
Well, I just was interested in Mr. Brown's opinion there, but
well, shall I give you it? Okay.
Give us a spiel.
Okay. I thought when it started, I thought, oh, here we go, Stranger Things, and I don't like the wee girl who was the lead.
I liked her. I thought she was
and
really
then there was a scene where she was in the classroom with Paul Rudd, and she cracked a trigonometry joke, and I thought, right, okay, I'll roll with it. Yes, she's charming, and I think at that moment she won me over. And I agree, Ian. It was a little bit loose in places. It could have chopped a few things out, maybe. But I've not seen Ghostbusters 2016, and I will say the best thing about this film is it didn't even mention it. So there you go.
I'll tell you what, guys, I almost cried at the ending. And you'll see why when you watch it, because there's something that happens at the ending that just tugs your heartstrings, and you think, what a wonderful thing.
They did it right, yes.
Yeah.
So I would genuinely say to everybody who's in the chat and watching this on the re-rub, go see Ghostbusters. It's good. It's not perfect. It's good,
but
though.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
I genuinely think it will make a ton of money. And if anything, just go see it to prove a point to Sony Pictures that we don't want 2016 shite. Over to you, Brian.
I'll try and rattle through this. I mostly enjoyed it. I felt it slightly fell to bits in the last third for a little while. But it managed to reel me in right at the very, very end. I felt it was like a 70s or 80s kids film. It reminded me somehow of like Flight of the Navigator or The Cat from Outer Space. That kind of energy about it.
Cat from Outer Space. Oh my lord! That's going
escapism you had when you were a kid.
I thought
there was some cringe-worthy moments in it. Not many, but a couple that were really really awful. I thought the scene. Do you know? I can't actually give too much away, but there was some clunky exposition in it. I thought
it was
a fun film, some pretty corny humor, which I quite liked, to be honest.
I'd just like to add the performances in this film was absolutely top notch from the kids.
Agreed.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I really liked. I thought the young girl in it absolutely captured Egon Spengler's character.
Brian, when you said clunky exposition, Ruin, did you have any involvement with this film?
He's not there. He's gone.
Obviously not.
No,
so Brian, carry on.
Chat, he'll be right back.
Rum and Coke.
I'm Batman, babies. Keep your goddamn wigs on. What's going on?
Brian pays.
Brian mentioned clunky exposition in the Afterlife. Did you have any writing involvement with this?
Well, no, but I was certainly the inspiration if that was the case, because I do love a bit of exposition in my movies. Yes. I mean, I should have written and directed Ghostbusters. I mean, I've fucked up Star Wars. Why not ruin that as well?
Yeah, do it all.
The thing is, though, about exposition in films, right? Sometimes there's no way to avoid it, really. I guess there is a way to avoid it, but I don't really mind it, really, if it's done in a way that's especially if you're watching an enjoyable film. I mean, Ghostbusters by no means was a perfect film at all, in my opinion. There's some bits in it that lag, but it's really enjoyable, and because it's enjoyable, you forgive all the stuff that lags, and it's the same with this one as well. So that's what I think.
I think if we're doing a proper spoiler kind of review, I think I'd be able to explain it a bit better. I think you'll know exactly where it was, what bit I'm talking about, Ian. A couple of big things.
We'll move on.
Yeah. Okay. A couple of big things about this. The treatment of the character of Egon, without giving too much away, there is that he has a kind of reclusive, eccentric portrayal of him.
Yeah.
And two things that sprung to mind. One was that
right up my street, that Brian, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. That's just exactly where I'm going. It's similar to Flynn in Tron Legacy and different to Luke in The Last Jedi because he's staying to protect something.
Yes.
He has a reason for being it, for doing what he does, and he's not a bum. I thought the character was treated with a lot of respect. I thought some of the scenes were truly moving. I was same as yourself. Yeah, the last time I felt so emotional was when Gaza did his cruciate ligament in. I would say that this film. I'm a big fan of Gaza. What are you talking about? I would say that this one is one for the kids/teens, but there is some gems in there for the original.
But
Ghostbusters fans.
not giving anything away, Brian. The ending. That's exactly what we wanted for what is it? Force Awakens. We wanted that to happen in Force Awakens, didn't we? What they did in this film, they should have done in Force Awakens.
I couldn't believe they actually did that. I thought it was absolutely beautiful what they did.
It was.
There was a moment towards the end where we thought, oh, right, okay, this is where the film has worked up to this moment. And luckily, they didn't do what all the films have been doing of late.
Yeah.
So thank fuck for that. So shall we move on? So everybody should go watch Ghostbusters. It's going to make a ton of money. Yeah. It's not a bad 2 hours. It could have lost maybe quarter of an hour, but recommended, yes. So shall we move on?
Yep.
Okay, so I'll quickly do the blurb then. So in honor of Ghostbusters Afterlife, which was released this week, we have Ghostbusters 1984, directed by Ivan Reitman, runtime 1 hour 45, PG certificate, screenplay Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, Rick Moranis, uncredited, Bernie Brillstein, exec producer, Michael C. Gross, associate producer, Joe Medwick, associate producer, Ivan Reitman, producer, music, Elmer Bernstein, starring Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Sigourney Weaver, Harold Ramis, Rick Moranis, Annie. It's Annie Potts, or is it Potts? I can't remember.
It's Potts.
Right. Ernie Hudson. Budget $30 million. Gross. Basically made $300 million, which ain't bad, is it? So, who would like to start? Brian, do you want to start on this?
I'll give someone else a chance. I've been gibbering on for the last 5
Okay.
minutes.
Tell you what, shall we start with the big man?
Go on.
Do it.
And it's not Mega Geek. Ruin?
Thank God.
Well, big man's what they call me in the dressing rooms, Brownie. Thank you for that. But, yes. Ghostbusters. Well, okay. Obviously, it's no Last Jedi, but it is a fantastic film. What I liked about it particularly is that they were a gang of geeks. They were kind of science geeks, not your typical kind of heroic style figures. In fact, one of the early scenes, they're seen running away at the first sign of a ghost. So I like that kind of the fact that it was a different type of hero. It brought the kind of geeky science guy type hero into the fray, and also some of the other characters. I mean, got to love Rick Moranis. Played a fantastic part. Sigourney Weaver, of course. So yes, I have to say, great cast, perfect cast actually, and yes, really, great comedy. Special effects, which for the time were pretty damn good. I know there was some, some of it's aged a little, but especially
Most
Slimer. Yes, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Ghostbusters, and I watched it not today, but recently, and I did enjoy it. I think it holds up well, and just a classic. Probably a top 10 80s movie, and that's a big compliment.
Yeah. Reni?
Yeah, I just got done watching it right before the stream, so I forgot how enjoyable of a movie it really is. And watching it in HD was pretty impressive, as old of a movie as it is. So it didn't look as bad effects-wise as I was kind of thinking it would, or as bad as I remember. But yeah, the acting is great, especially, I know Bill Murray's a total jerk face, but he is perfect for the role of Peter Venkman. I mean, they all fit their roles perfectly. I love how they, basically pull a lot of this crap out of their ass, but make it work, especially, whenever push came to shove, and save the day. So yeah, I love Ghostbusters. It's funny, it's witty, and it's got a little bit of scariness to it. So
good for you.
Shut up, Brown.
Swappers.
Yeah, just one of the greatest films ever made, isn't it? I think that's indisputable.
Wow.
horror comedies. Where are all the horror comedies? That's what we need more of, I think.
On 40 minutes.
Too many people are afraid to be comedies these days. Too many people are afraid to be edgy and afraid to have grown-up humor in their movies. It's something to be skated around and excluded, and it's all sort of homogenous now, and everyone's afraid of being offensive and whatever. And Ghostbusters just went for it. They got the Saturday Night Live crew together, and they just made some light horror comedy that appealed to so many audiences, right from children to old adults, and it absolutely hit the nail on the head for everyone. There wasn't one person who didn't like it, I don't think, apart from the stuffy movie critics who are obsessed with art house cinema. But yeah, it just blew the world away with entertainment, and that was a really busy year as well for quality movie releases.
Oh yes.
So it had a lot of competition for vying for people's favorite movie of the year. And not only was it people's favorite movie of the year, but it went on for the rest of the decade to be, just revered as just one of the best movies ever made. Spawned comic books, spawned TV series, spawned sequels, you name it. It's just a huge brand.
2016.
Still massively popular today. This is why they're still making movies about it. They tried to destroy it in 2016, but they couldn't do it. And it's still amazing now. And I'm really hoping, fingers crossed, with the next movie, if they make one, because I think the latest one is kind of a setup deal. If they make another one, then it will be a proper Ghostbusters sort of ensemble, not a bunch of Stranger Things kids. But we'll see what happens anyway. But that's always my take on Ghostbusters is horror comedy. We want more horror comedy, and it kicks ass. Yeah.
I think if it does well, which I'm sure it will, I'm sure we're going to be seeing more Ghostbusters. Brian, do you want to a word or two?
Yeah, sure. I love Ghostbusters. I didn't see the movie until it came out on VHS, sadly. I missed the cinematic run the first time round. I loved the cartoon that came out a couple of years later on, and I had all the toys and the comics, and I kept that going for a good few years. On the rewatch today, one thing I forgot was how I don't think I've seen it for maybe 20, 21 years. I think I got the DVD when it first came out, but I forgot just how funny that this film is.
Yeah.
I think the comedic timing in it is brilliant. The cast are all in their prime, and it reminded me of very much the old Abbott and Costello films and some of Bob Hope stuff for the wisecracks and that.
Very good.
It's not 100% original, but you can definitely see its influences. I think Sigourney Weaver, her gravitas really helps ground the film and make it believable within its own canon. And along with Bill Murray's kind of offbeat dismissiveness and humour, it's definitely one of my favourites, and I forgot just how good it was until I watched it today.
Before we move on to the Mega Geek,
did you see who's in the chat?
Ruin, look who's here. Ruin, Earth calling franchise.
Ruin has stepped out for a number 2, he says.
Sorry, no, I'm here. I was just pulling my pants back up. I saw Kathy appear, and I was overwhelmed. So, Kathy, it's so great to see you. You're looking absolutely beautiful and stunning, and such good news that you're going to be at the helm of Disney Lucasfilm for the next 3 years. So, sending my love to you, Kathy. I will see you later for our little midnight cuddle.
I heard that Matt G in the chat is related to her, so maybe he can help you out. Just kidding, Matt G.
There's only one woman in my world. She has tits like a Thaler siren. That's all I'm saying on the matter.
Ian, thoughts on Ghostbusters? I know you like it.
Yeah, I did like it. First time I saw it was in the cinema. I didn't understand the American humor. I thought it was okay when I first saw it. It's just when I saw it again, a couple of times again, I got the humor and liked it even more. But I must admit, when I first saw it, I just thought it was, generally okay. I went to see it because I was really into big special effects movies at the time.
Yeah.
And I heard about it. I think I read it in Starburst or Starlog, whatever, and I went to see it. And I enjoyed it, but I didn't laugh as much. And I think the audience that I went to see it with didn't laugh either, because it was Saturday Night Live humor. It was Saturday Night Live humor, but England didn't really know Saturday Night Live at that moment in time. There are little bits that made me laugh, like the flowers are still standing. That made me laugh. And nice shooting text, that made me laugh as well. Little bits that laugh, but the actual core of the comedy was a bit hard to grasp, because obviously we're not Americans. But as years went on and I saw it again, I got the humor. I got to equate this to Seinfeld. When I first saw Seinfeld, I didn't get the humor, and it took one episode for me to actually understand it. And it's the same thing with Ghostbusters as well. Apart from that, I did really like it. I like the idea. The concept behind Ghostbusters is very, very, very original. Very original. And they've tried to copy it with RAPD. They tried to copy it. Yep. And Men in Black is kind of a copy, but it's with aliens. And so they throughout the years they've tried to copy the Ghostbusters, but the Ghostbusters will stand as the original concept of that idea. And I think Ray Stans, who plays Ray Stans again?
Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd. I think Dan Aykroyd should be commended, because he was the one that came up with the idea.
Coming off the back of Trading Places.
Yeah, and it's a fantastic idea. Originally, it was meant to be set in the future, in space, and it had him and who's the guy that's in Blues Brothers? The John guy Belushi. That died, John Belushi. They were traveling through time, eradicating ghosts. That was the original idea. But it was Ivan Reitman who said, "Let's set it in New York and and ground it." And between Harold Ramis, him and Ivan Reitman, they carved and made Ghostbusters, and thank God for it, because it's a real classic as it stands right now. So there you go.
It is. I will quickly say, Ruin the Man Baby is a moderator for this channel, and I think I'm going to give the honour to Kathleen Kennedy as well, because there's going to be no other channel on YouTube that can say I've got Kathleen Kennedy as a moderator. Moving on.
As if she wants to be one.
She's got no choice. Okay, so Kathleen, watch out for that blue wrench coming your way. So we're on a time limit, boys and girls. So shall we just pile through these stills?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, so Columbia Pictures, old style. Brian, if you could take care of the chat, that would be good, because I've obviously got to switch screens and bullshit. So here we go.
Sorry, that's the music in the beginning.
So we start New York Public Library.
I've been there.
Really?
I've been there. Yeah.
Good for you. I would imagine Peacock's been there as well. So
yeah,
it's a nice shot, opening shot. The way it pans from.
Yeah. So the librarian with all the roller decks going mental in the background.
Yep.
What age limit was this movie when it came out?
PG, parental go.
Wow, because there's elements which are quite scary actually when you look at it.
That's why I loved it. I was like 11 years old when I saw this, and it was like I'd never really seen horror movies. It was kind of like the first horror movie I got a chance to watch like properly. I got my parents' permission to watch, so it's a really special experience.
Bless
for kids
you.
That age, Yeah. So when you do see the scary bits as well, I was just, oh Jesus, that's scary. But then you get the comedy straight afterwards. It's just the perfect balance in this movie.
Yeah. She looks like she's got a spliff in her hand. They smoke things in the library.
Well paused, yeah.
Right, okay.
Well, that was back in the 80s when smoking was legal everywhere.
It was. They were just smoking like chimneys on this. I will just pile through these, and when we feel like we need to stop, we'll stop, yeah. Okay. Opening titles.
Great logo as well.
Hey, Captain Trek, by the way. Sorry.
Don't apologise.
I feel bad because I can't talk to them in the chat.
Being creepy here because he's chatting up a 17-year-old.
Yes, you'll never get this in modern day movies, would you?
Yeah.
The guy on the left is getting electrocuted all the time.
Yeah, but he's closer to the right answer.
Yeah, and she's getting chatted up.
Yeah, because she's a cutie and a
It's
blonde.
borderline rape, but we gave it a pass in the 80s.
From a different time, yes.
Yes.
The effect. I tell you what the effect is. It's pissing me off. That's what it is. He says,
$5.
Yeah, because he got it right on the last one, and I was like, "Oh, I'd be ready to punch him."
Well,
but he didn't know.
2 wavy lines, but there was 3.
He said a couple. Yeah, true.
Back off, man. I'm a scientist. Sorry.
How old was Bill Murray in this movie? Do we know? Because he's, as long as I can remember, he's always rocked that male pattern baldness. I've got no idea whether he's 50 here
in his
or
30s,
23.
late 30s, maybe.
Right.
If you see his college, snaps, that male pattern baldness is well on the way, even back then.
Wow.
Dang. So he's always kind of been an old man.
Yeah.
Just adds to the charm.
He's still got that bit though in his hair. It hasn't dropped off or anything, and it's all grey now, so he's still got it. Yep. So there you
go. So this is pre Ghostbusters, isn't it? They've kind of gone to the library and seen all this strange paranormal activity, like book stacking.
Yeah.
Murray would have been 33, 34 when this came out.
Yeah. Roller deck sliming.
And she says, "Shh," like that.
And there's Auntie Kathy.
And they make Ray go forward. They always make Ray do the thing.
Oh my word! How
Auntie
the hell
Kathy?
is this a PG?
But that's the thing, you see, when Jaws came out, it was an A, which equals a PG as well. And Jaws is even more bloodier than this one. So,
and this is Kathy before she puts her makeup on in the morning.
Well, I can attest to that for sure.
There you go.
And they all get scared and they run out.
Yeah.
Great reactions.
That bit's great. I love that.
I would say it's probably been maybe 25 years since I've seen this.
There's the moment where they get fired.
Yeah, because they've gone back to the university and they've been fired, haven't they? And I will be controversial here. I wasn't a massive fan of it when I saw it originally in the cinema.
You must have been about, what, 14, something like that? 15?
16.
The same thing with me as well.
Yeah,
I didn't get the humor. Didn't get the humor.
Wow.
But as I said, when I saw it like another, on TV and stuff like that, I got to love it because then I got the humor and I got what was, But I went to see it because it was a special effects movie, and in those days, special effects movie was. They were everywhere, from Gremlins straight across to everything, really. Toy soldiers, everything. So,
I think I actually got the humor, but I just probably wasn't my thing. And I didn't probably enjoy it and appreciate it as much as I should have.
You prefer the 2016 all-female remake, don't you, Brown?
That is absolute
right.
Small message from the chat from Stuart Mitchell, who says,
"Hello, Stuart.
Ivan Reitman had previously directed Bill Murray and Harold Ramis together in Stripes.
Oh, yes.
And,
hey, Stuart. He's so
and Bill
nice.
Murray and Harold Ramis fell out on
Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day, of course. 20 years
But
feud.
didn't Harold Ramis actually direct that one? And that's why
Yes, he did.
I don't remember.
They fell out. They fell out. And when he was dying, Bill Murray went to see him and they made up. Yeah.
Oh.
That was like, what, 20 years, right?
And also, another little known fact, right? They asked Bill Murray whether he wanted to do it, and he said he didn't know. And then they rang him up again, and he said, okay. And then rang up again, and he said he didn't know. So all the way leading up to the day of shooting, they didn't know whether he was going to turn up. And the first day of shooting, they were all ready to turn, and he turns up. So there you go. So that's what Bill Murray was like. He was a bit of an arse, put it that way. So
Well, and supposedly he's really hard to get a hold of. So
yeah, because he doesn't have an agent or a manager.
Yeah.
So people have to ring him, or people who knows numbers have to ring him to star in films. So yeah. But yeah.
Right, so they're they're outside the university, and they're discussing the kind of business opportunity, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, they
now.
basically say that they have the data to actually capture
Yeah.
a ghost based on the slime
Yeah.
that they've got and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they think they can capture ghosts. And Bill Murray is saying, well, why don't we form a company? And he's saying, well, we don't have any money. And then this scene happens.
And then they do now. So they've gone to the bank, mortgage the house.
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
raise savings.
Yeah. With stupid interest rates.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So they
love it. The fire station.
Buy a dump.
I've got to say, I think it was a bit of a genius to, when they're thinking of locations and transport, to have come up with a fire station with the old pole to slide down into action. And of course, Ecto One, I know we've not got there just yet, but the genius of creating the vehicle out of an old hearse was absolutely beautiful. Probably second only to the DeLorean in terms of famous
Plastic
iconic cars of the 80s.
Speaking of poles, Ruin, does Kathy have a pole in the bedroom?
Dude, we don't want to know that.
Well, Kathy does have a pole, but you might be interested to know she's not the one who uses it. She actually likes to have me get the old thong on and get buttered up, and then I will do a little number for Kathy to the tune of Def Leppard's "Pour Some Sugar on Me." So there you go, little insight to our weekends. Anyway, back to Ghostbusters.
Okay, moving on. This big building with stuff on the top is happening. That does look very... The special effects don't hold up, I don't think. Moving on. So we're at the building. There's dogs, dog gargoyles.
The special effects was rushed. Richard Eden wasn't happy with this film at all because they didn't have enough time to do special effects company. If you look at the special effects very carefully, you see the cut lines of the ghosts. So he wasn't very happy. So that's why some of the special effects were a bit dodgy.
So there's Ripley.
Shout out to the cello, fellow cellist. I do appreciate the cello case. There.
And there is old Rick, poor Rick.
Dressed as a scouser.
She looks gorgeous in this film. Really does.
Yep.
I particularly find it arousing when she turns evil later on. I don't know what it is about that, but
I'm ready to believe in you.
She says some pretty explicit things.
She does.
So...
And there's the latest in flat screen OLED technology from Toshiba. Brian?
Just a couple of messages in the chat. First one is from Wookie Fever. Said the part that Bill Murray played was originally for John Belushi.
Yeah,
sadly,
top trivia.
Passed away. Also, Captain Trek says, "I thought the vehicle was an old ambulance." So did I for years.
Yeah, I did.
If you look back, it's actually a hearse that he drives in.
Yeah.
It's still got the curtains and the lot.
Yes, makes sense, really, doesn't it? You know, connection with death, and although white hearse is somewhat unusual. I mean.
Well, they painted it white, didn't they? Because when it turns up, it was dark.
Black.
Yeah.
I don't remember that at the start. Yeah,
it was black. So Dana has walked in the kitchen, putting the eggs down, and they're cooking on the tiled top.
80s clothes.
Her hair just is massive there, isn't it?
Yeah, but she's gorgeous, though. Look at that body. Look at that face.
Oh, yeah.
She's so goddamn hot. Come on, let's all make Reni feel uncomfortable by talking about how goddamn Sigourney Weaver is.
Oh my goodness!
Take it off, Sigourney. Sorry, am I?
So
I didn't catch it at the time, but God, I do when I look back on it.
She's got it.
Especially when you're watching it in Blu-ray, she looks absolutely gorgeous.
Blue.
Actually, I may have to correct ourselves here because I've seen both. There's a couple of different versions. Was it the cartoon or something that had it? But I have a picture here, and it's definitely an ambulance.
Oh my
Oh,
lord!
but it is-
Good God.
But it is black. I
Really
can share it if you're really
controversial.
interested. But
So it's not the Mandela effect then. Wow.
Controversial.
Relief.
Okay, so she's aghast at the eggs cooking, and then she looks in the refrigerator as you would, because she hears strange noises. And
Stranger
then
Things.
she sees the logo of the KLF in the
Obscure reference.
obviously justified and ancient,
KLF's going to rock you. Yeah.
and they drive an ice cream van.
Not that van.
They
So
do.
is that an ambulance or is
That's
that
not a
hearse?
goddamn ambulance. Who the
That
hell
looks
is
like
it?
a hearse.
there's
The
not many
hearse has got
hearses
the
that have flashing lights on the
It's
top.
it looks like a coroner, like Quincy.
Oh.
Do you remember Quincy?
Oh, right.
Because
If I called an ambulance and that goddamn thing turned up, I'd be very worried. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, screw it. I don't want your help.
Expectations subverted.
It looks almost like both with the curtains and with. It's very confusing to us all.
So there's Annie Potts, there's Peter, and the latest in Microsoft technology.
Type something, Willie. We're paying for this stuff, he says to her. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Type a
But Annie
letter.
Potts is in young Sheldon now, isn't she?
All
She
right.
plays the grandmother. Yeah, she plays the grandmother.
Oh.
She looks amazing in Afterlife.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
does.
She's hardly aged.
She does.
So Dana turns up saying there's something going on in my room, fridge, apartment. Tests.
And they don't take her seriously. Well, Egon does, but
Yeah.
Peter doesn't.
No, he does. He does. He just fancies her. That's all.
Yeah. So he goes to the apartment and he does the piano because they hate it, apparently.
Yeah, but he's very creepy in this scene. That's why she kicks him
Yeah.
out.
Very 80s.
Yeah.
What does he say when he walks into the bedroom again? There's a line, isn't there? And I can't remember what it is, but it's brilliant. I love it.
I think she says nothing exciting happens in here, and he says, "Oh, it's a shame."
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
it's
it.
very hard to believe, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Product placement for Coca-Cola
Yeah.
and Pyrex.
Turn the cans to the camera.
So,
Wookie has just corrected us again. He says it's a coroner wagon.
Ah, that makes
yes,
sense.
that's what I said. A coroner wagon. Quincy, yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah,
Quincy.
but we needed confirmation. So
Stephen Amore likes Quincy. Check Stephen Amore's channel out. He's got loads of Quincy on there.
Budweiser, Coca-Cola. What else is advertised there?
What about the noodles?
So-
Oscar Mayer later on.
Sigourney Weaver kicks him out, thinking he's a bit of a crank, and then they go back to the house,
Famous scene here.
and they're having their
We got
petty cash meal.
Yeah. Whenever I watch this film, it always makes me really crave noodles.
Yeah,
I don't know.
wow.
That's
There you go.
Ecto
Woo.
Beautiful thing.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, good
Iconic.
stuff. Iconic.
Iconic.
When I go in that hotel, Veckman looks at that girl, doesn't
Shedwick.
he? He looks at that girl.
I love that bit. Yeah, he just
Yeah.
stands there and sort of smiles out the corner of his eye. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really good.
And I don't even, that guy's famous, isn't he? That guy there with the hat. I don't know
does
who
look
he
familiar.
is in America. Yeah, I don't know who he is.
Yeah.
Do you know who he is, Reni?
No.
Ruin, do you know who he is, being American?
Looking at him, he looks like an alien from Canto Bites, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
I think the line is
He's probably
Yeah.
covered in breasts or something underneath it.
that's one mighty cockroach.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Going
then they
up.
turn the proton pack up on, and I will say the proton pack firing up on Afterlife in the cinema with state-of-the-art sound was very good.
Mm.
Moving on.
Yeah, it's very loud. When I see Slimer, isn't it? They tried to get him.
Yes.
This is a bit with a maid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
the
the
maid.
hell are you doing?
Yeah.
She has to duck behind the cart. Poor lady.
Flaming toilet rolls everywhere. I thought that-
All these effects would have been scratched on the film, wouldn't they, Ian?
No, it's animation, so
Is it?
there's a cell on top of a cell, but the obviously the explosion is there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It works really well. Even today, it looks great.
Mm.
This bit gets me every time when the fag
Look, another
is hanging
cigarette.
off,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the fag is hanging off the bottom.
Always
lip.
remember that.
Yeah.
In the lift.
Just remember
In
that
the
means
elevator
something
when they're going
different
up,
in
there's a no
Dan
smoking
Aykroyd
sign
said he
there.
got back. They all got backache with those things on. They were really heavy.
I bet they did.
Apparently, yeah. Really heavy.
What were you
And
saying
so-
there, Bryce? Sorry, something about
When they did the effects in this was definitely there was a puppet. So there was somebody's hands in the
It's
in
a
the hand
puppet.
bit, yeah, and somebody moving the mouth. But today it'd be all CGI, wouldn't it? It'd all be,
Yeah.
CGI animation.
That's very similar to Kathy working Ruin, isn't it?
Oh, come on.
Oh, good
I'm
God.
going to have a hard
really
enough time burning the
reaching
images
these
of the pole
depths
dance
already?
out.
Well, I don't know.
And
I
this
mean,
was-
Slimer's not perfectly round, is he? Like Ruin's head.
No.
So.
But this was
More
This
resembles
character
my
was
nutsack,
based
to
on,
be honest. But
That's
Jim
Pablo
Belushi, wasn't
Hidalgo
it?
at the Lucasfilm canteen. Hashtag
yeah, you're right.
fat shame.
Yeah, you're right about
Jim
yeah,
Belushi.
Belushi. You're right.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was based on Jim Belushi.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Oh.
Stripes. when he was
I will
eating
say
it.
the Slimer in Afterlife is excellent. The new
Yeah,
one.
but they changed it slightly, didn't
Yeah,
they?
the new one is excellent.
Yeah.
I've got some trivia for you, man babies, if you'd like it.
You,
Do you know he was
go for it.
never known as Slimer
No,
until
he
the
wasn't.
animated
Yeah.
series?
The real Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
He was. He's looking at me, Ray. That
Ray!
Ah! He screamed.
Shit, I thought I'd walked in then. Fucking hell.
He's now
really
known
good.
as Slimer Skywalker, by the way. Renamed him.
That's what happened. He's slimy.
So this is Ray. This is Ray.
Ray.
Who's
Ray.
Ray!
So they go downstairs into the ballroom or the dining
Yeah.
room,
It's my favourite bit. Flowers
Oh
are
my
still
God, they-
standing.
and they're just absolutely trashing the place.
Yeah,
So
they
good.
destroy it and that
So
lady
good.
freaks out so bad.
Is
Yeah.
our
Damn it,
booking
it'll be
ready?
fine.
It's in there. When they capture it, it's in there and they start kicking it.
I
And
love
that
the
guy
bit when
goes-
Egon.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I love the bit when Egon, there's a guy, one of the guests just walks past him and he looks at him up and down with a PK meter and then pokes him to see if he's a ghost.
Ah, yeah.
Nice. Yes.
What about this bit where the guy says, "Well, how much is this going to cost us?"
$5,000.
Five big ones, and he goes,
Not paying.
"I
I'm
won't
not
pay
paying
it."
that.
And he goes, "Right, we'll just put it
Put it
back in there."
He's like, no.
That's quite
So cue montage of all the papers. Obviously, it wouldn't be like that today.
Yeah.
For the kids, for our younger viewers, those are called newspapers. Google it. Again, that's called a magazine. Google
They
it.
know what magazines are. They're
Blimey.
newspapers. They're not.
Again, that's
stupid.
another magazine, October 1984.
Apparently, all the people behind them are real people. They're not extras. You know the bit the newscaster is talking, and that guy in the background is waving. That's a real guy. That was he was.
Wow.
He wasn't hired to do that scene. He was
Nice.
real, basically. So yeah.
This
Is
is
this a
a
blowjob scene?
Yeah.
Yes,
this
it
is
is.
a homage to Ruin and Kathy.
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
Which is which?
Do you remember
Ruin on top.
Matt, we were talking about this on Dan's stream, and it's obviously a dream now when you look at this picture because he's wearing what's he wearing there? He's wearing what is it?
A hard on.
Yeah,
No.
look at you look at the background. It's not the firehouse.
Exactly. It's not. Yeah, it's not the firehouse.
Well,
It's
no, it
definitely
shows
a
him
dream.
asleep. And then, like,
Definitely a
even
dream, yeah.
after it, he rolls out of bed and falls off.
He does. Yeah, he does. Yeah.
It's like
So-
me on a morning. Right, okay. We'll crash through these because I know Ruin's got... Ruin, what time do you need to leave, mate?
Well, 11:30ish. Kathy's going to
right.
be home, and she's
Right,
she's
okay.
got something rather special lined up for us. So,
What trilogy?
well, You could
No.
call it a trilogy. I mean, I call it 3 inches, but anyway.
This is
Ernie Hudson. He's got the job,
yeah.
and I believe anything you say.
If there's a
as long-
paycheck in it,
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that line.
Yeah.
And we're not talking Bob Paycheck either.
no, we should have been done.
Yeah. So he's got the job because they've just come back from the hotel gig,
Yeah, still got the slime on him now. Look, yeah.
and then Reitman's going to Sigourney, trying to get in her
Pants.
Cello case.
Yes, this is the containment matrix, or whatever you call it.
Catch the
Containment
ghost,
unit.
you put it in the trap, you flush it, and it stays in there. Apparently,
Light is
Yeah.
green, trap is clean.
That's
it.
right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Evidently, they reuse them. That's what I thought of it.
And they were talking about the Twinkie.
And yeah, and then health and safety man from Die Hard turns up.
Dickless.
Walter Peck, his name is. Walter Peck.
Yeah, health and safety, New York.
Takes an
19.
instant dislike into Veckman.
Doesn't he work
Instant
for the
dislike.
Environmental Protection Agency or?
Health and
Yeah.
safety. Yeah, yeah.
He's got
Reitman-
slime on his hand, doesn't he? And he like just
Yeah, he
slaps
does,
it on
yeah.
his. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and wipes his hand on
Twinkie
his
story. Twinkie story. That bit
Yeah,
there.
lots of kind of crazy shit ghost energy flying around, and that would be the size of what, I don't know, 35 buses or whatever. I don't know, can't remember. That's a big Twinkie.
Yeah, it is indeed.
Yep.
Some very, very good lines from
Oh, so
Ernie
good.
Hudson. Properly good lines.
He's
I
the-
liked
he's
him
the
at the
everyman, though.
time.
He's kind of he takes our place, doesn't he, in the story? So he's kind of the general public insert in there. So the stuff he
Yeah.
comes out with is the stuff that we'd all appreciate. I think.
Yeah,
That's a good way to look at that, Matt. Yeah.
He's a kind of grounding character.
Yeah.
but when he says lines, they are delivered with aplomb. Right, okay, so we're back at the apartments, top of the building, and there's the
Gargoyles.
yeah.
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 It's gonna break out.
I like the red eyes, I have to say. It was,
Yes.
very fond of that.
Of course.
What's
Oh,
the?
I've got,
Is it
I've got some
Lewis?
more trivia if you'd like it, gang.
Always. We
Did
encourage
you
trivia.
know? Did you know that before Rick Moranis was given this role, it was originally lined up for
John
is it
Candy.
John Candy, yes, John
Oh.
Candy.
Oh,
Right.
no, I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Mm.
Rick
Um,
Moranis plays it so well.
Top
God.
trivia.
Can't imagine anyone else, can you?
No.
I
Can't
didn't know that he
perfect.
actually. I didn't know that he actually wrote some of it until tonight. So there you
Mm.
go. Dana's in the apartment, just relaxing, and then
Freaky
the
moment, isn't it? It's a
the
very freaky
door
moment.
is starting doing weird shit.
Yeah, and then she kind of like doesn't move her head, but moves her eyes. Like, what was that?
This is a very
then-
evil star moment, isn't it? With all the zombie arms coming out of the chair. Like,
Yeah.
it's very scary for
I just-
kids to watch.
Crotch shot with lots of
Yeah.
arms. I just noticed that.
Well done. Well done.
Yep.
Oh God.
You know what? Every time I see this film, it always makes me wonder how the evil dogs and this how did they become the dogs then? So with Rick Moranis, it chased after him, and then he's near the glass of the restaurant, and then he sinks down. What did it do? Swallowed them or something?
I think it just possessed him.
I think they possess
Yeah.
the bodies.
But
yeah,
then how do they become the dog? See, that's and then at the ending, remember when
well,
everything was up, they had to peel him out of the dog. Do you
but
remember?
didn't you
Yeah.
ever see like a ghost story where the ghost possesses the person,
A
but then they
morphed,
wind up looking like the ghost or whoever the ghost was? Or,
Or licking.
I don't know.
Yeah, I was
That's-
just wondering. That's all.
That's
Tell
where
you, the
my mind
guy-
went with it.
The guy on the right hand side of the chair here has got a good job, hasn't he?
Bastard. I know, yeah. Booby, yeah. I know. Bastard.
But I read that she, they were really cautious doing that to her, and she just said, "Oh fuck it, just do it."
Hey.
Yeah.
Doggies, the Gozer dogs.
Woof, woof.
Nice to
That's
see
scary.
them in Afterlife as practical effects.
That's right. Yeah.
Mm.
party. The guy in the back looks like one of them Raimi brothers.
He does. Ted Raimi or something, yeah.
The one who was in Sequest.
Yeah, Ted Raimi.
And in Spider-Man.
Yeah. He's in everything that Sam Raimi does.
Yeah.
Top trivia.
That's his brother, isn't it?
Yeah.
His brother.
And then Lewis throws the coat into the bedroom.
Who
and
brought the
dog's
dog?
there.
It's just an absurd moment, isn't it? Where you get this like horrendously alien sort of looking
Yeah,
creature
it's like, oh.
just lying in there, and then it's just a comedy moment when he gets a jacket thrown at his head and just trying to shake it off.
That's very similar to Ruin waking up on a morning.
Yes,
In Kathy's
that's me. Rising up like the Undertaker and
Reading
bit of a
tweets.
grump
Those
on
eyes.
me. Yes.
Those eyes.
Yes, indeed.
And Lewis goes running through the city, and they go to this fine dining establishment. He's outside, everybody's looking at him, and he gets devoured by the dog, and then they just carry on eating.
Yeah, because it's a
They
bunch of
don't give
snooty
a
people.
fuck. Yeah.
They
like
don't.
he's-
They don't have time for a peon.
Yeah, and he's the only one that can see it as well, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next shot.
All right, okay. So Venkman's going to see Dana on their date, which he arranged previously.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she's a dog. Yeah.
Here you go, Matt. Here you go.
Yeah.
Hello, nurse. Woof,
Yeah.
woof, woof, woof,
Oh, wow.
woof. Yeah.
What did she say? Are you the...
Gatekeeper.
Are you the gatekeeper?
No,
Are
are you
you
the
a-
key master?
Oh, that
She's
was
the
it.
gatekeeper.
Are you-
Oh, I see.
You have to slot
Gatekeeping
your key
twat.
into her lock. That's
Yeah.
how it works.
Well, I'm pretty sure there's a reason why they made those names up. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
She does
yeah.
say, I want you inside me later.
She did, as in, like, yeah, for real.
It looks like what was this? What did he reply? He says, "Looks like there's too many people inside of you."
Yeah, that was a
Something.
great
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
That was a great line, man. That was so good. And I love the way that he just like, that's it. No more creepiness. He's like totally not like, he had an opportunity to take advantage of it completely here, and he's not
Yeah.
doing it whatsoever. He's just completely trying to live up to his profession and not.
What was that line where she tried to grab him and he says, "I make it a rule not to make love to possessed people," and then she turns him around and he goes, "Well, it's more of a guideline than a rule."
Yeah.
Stephen Amori in the chat says,
Yeah.
same guys who made Gremlins did the practical effects for Ghostbusters.
Indeed.
Both excellent.
Mm.
Yeah, so they try not to get them wet, otherwise they would have been in more trouble. That's a Gremlins joke.
Hail Tim in the chat.
It's
Brutish.
0 a week, unfortunately. Okay, so Rick Moranis is asking, are you the...
Talks to the horse.
Are
Are
you
you
the gatekeeper
Kathy?
or
He's
the...
asking.
Yeah.
Are
Are
you
you the
Kathy?
gatekeeper twat?
Mm.
Are you?
And then the
Kathy?
police turn up with him. Obviously, they've gone up market now because they've got an illuminated sign outside.
Made a bit
Oh,
more money.
very good.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, good stuff.
That was in Afterlife, that helmet.
It
Great
was
little
indeed.
Great little a bit of effects going on in the background there when he moves his head and the dog head moves.
Yeah. You see the
Yeah.
dog on the screen.
Also, the books was an Afterlife as well. That was in the library.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed that, but hey. Lewis Tully.
And then Venkman rings, what's Egon, is it?
Yes.
Saying, I've got Dana going
Critical
batshit
mass.
over here. Yeah.
Critical mass.
Yeah. And this Ernie Hudson talking about Jesus. I love his
God.
style.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. It gets me every time. Moving on.
But it's the thing about this is that that scene is meant to tell you that those two, when they've made a connection, these two characters, but you don't see it. But with this scene, it tells you that these two have made become closer friends.
Yeah.
Because them two are busting ghosts
Oh, okay.
without the other two. So
Is,
And
you
then
know
they
um,
what I
start
mean?
talking
So,
about
Right,
yeah.
revelations.
Is
and all
is that
stuff.
similar to Ray and Emo Boy in The Last Jedi, where
No,
they're
sir.
in the Snoke chamber?
I don't know.
Speaking of The Last Jedi,
Yeah.
Smiling Bandito in the chat says, Rick would have had an extra scene with the horse if Ruin was directing. What on earth?
Well, you're not wrong. Yes, you're not wrong. We'd have got a good old milking scene in there with the male stallion. Yes, that would have been interesting.
Oh God!
Oh my God!
And the iconic flyby drive Twin Towers in the background.
Oh, yes. Brooklyn Bridge is that in the foreground.
And then health and safety are turning up, and they're pissed.
EPA.
Well, he is, but you know,
Dickless.
they didn't. None of them really wanted to turn it off. It's only him that insisted that they turned it off.
Ego.
Yeah, but he brought his court order like he said he was going to. So of course he was like, "Whatever, I do what I want."
Because the policeman tells him off, doesn't he? In this scene, something like pencil, like you do your job and I'll do mine, or something like that. He says to him. I can't remember.
Something slightly freaky. See that guy with the blue hat?
Yeah.
If you look closely in the room, how much that guy looks like the Peter Venkman toy from
come on.
Or the cartoon
image.
The cartoon.
No, actually, the cartoon, the toy that was made from that cartoon, is quite different. That's nuts.
Never seen it. Moving on. We need to crash through these, so we'll get a move on. Then they turn it all off, and it goes boom.
Everybody runs off because they know it's going to go boom.
It's like, oh, but you wanted to shut it off. Why don't you stay around for the party?
And then Rick Moranis says, "It's a sign," and then Janine says, "It's a sign, all right. It's a sign of going out of business." That's what she said. Remember that line? There you go.
And this building goes up.
The bit of the soundtrack after this is phenomenal.
Yeah. Lots of special effects.
This is great. Oh my God! Oh, good Lord!
Oh wow!
Ding dong. Ooh.
Oh, it's Kathy again.
She brushed her teeth.
She looks good.
He made a guest star appearance in the new one.
Yeah. The Ghostbusters have been arrested, and then they, for some reason, they've still got the map of the building, and it's just basically a massive antenna. And all the inmates interested.
Is everybody getting this? He says, at one point.
Yeah. The building, top of the building explodes, and then here we go.
Gatekeeper and Keymaster.
I am the ass master.
And she snogs him there.
Yeah.
I think they do more. They just don't show it.
Yep.
Are they back at the mayor's office?
Yeah. Ghostbusters. The mayor wants to speak to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the famous Dickless scene.
Yes.
We had everything under control until Dickless here turned off.
He's like, is that true? Yes, sir, it is true. This man has no dick.
Has no dick.
Yeah.
Why do I think that is the actor from the original 60s Batman, Commissioner Gordon? Is it? Or is it just me being
No,
silly?
it's not him.
Okay,
It's not him
right,
at
move
all.
on. So they agree to the plan because obviously, if it works, all those
Get loads of
voters.
voters. Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
And an interesting scene in this is that it was called Ghost Smashers because they didn't have the rights to the words Ghostbusters. It's a long story.
Yeah.
So this is one of the first scenes they shot when all the crowd was screaming Ghostbusters. So they had one shot where they were screaming Ghost Smashers, and then another shot because they were still fighting for the name Ghostbusters where they were shouting Ghostbusters. So
question for Ruin. Ruin, when you went to the premiere of The Last Jedi, did Disney lay on a parade like this for you?
Yes, it was very similar, actually. They shut down the whole city, and then we had all the shills lining up the road and creating a guard of honor. And then, yes, I was driven like some kind of president in the back of a limousine. It was fantastic. And I got out the car fully naked, and everyone complimented me on how fantastic my outfit was. Yes.
And did they have the army on your parade, just in case if it all went tits up?
Oh, let's not get onto tits again, Brownie, because you know it's my favourite subject.
Oh dear.
Ghostbusters.
The building's going a bit funny at the top.
And that's the bit where they fell through the crack and everything's dead, and then they appeared.
Yeah.
Fake out.
And then they're like,
yes! Fuck yeah! Ghostbusters, fuck yeah. And then Rick on the top looks like he's been
ravished.
Looks like he's shot his muck.
Oh, Brown.
It
There's
just
a lot
blew
of
his
that at the end of the
load.
movie.
And what wonderful pins this woman has got right here.
Oh, Sigourney
Everything.
Weaver.
Pretty much.
Mm.
Yes. It's like Kathy.
Building going a little bit funny again.
I'm sorry, but for a film with unfinished special effects, it's bloody great.
Yeah.
Where does those stairs go?
Yeah.
Up.
Up. They go up.
They go up.
I'm very surprised they haven't spent a little money kind of maybe improving the effects.
Well, I feel
Nah,
like they
you can't.
kinda
Yeah, you shouldn't be
did.
adjusting classics. You should not be adjusting classics.
Yes.
I will say though, the effects on Afterlife, if there was ever a film that was made for CGI ghosts, it was that. They looked fantastic.
Mm.
They did, but as I said, you
They
shouldn't
looked
touch classics.
absolutely
You just-
superb.
you should digitally, obviously make them look better,
Yeah.
quality and wise, but you
Yeah.
shouldn't touch the film itself because
Mhm.
that's just disrespecting what the director and the producer tried to do, unless
Yeah.
the director and producer
Yeah.
want to improve on it, I guess.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so the building's basically a big lightning rod and shit's going down.
Yep.
You
Gozer, the destructor.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Sigourney and Rick are turning back into the dogs because they've served their purpose. They're inside now.
What's that line? Who's that? Was it Gozer? Wait a moment. Gozer's a man? It could be anything she wants to be. That's the line, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Very progressive.
There's a cracking line in Ghostbusters Afterlife, which I can't reveal at the moment, but you all know what I'm talking about
Your
Yeah.
girlfriend's a dog.
at the same time.
And again, here we go. The KLF, justified and ancient.
There's so many
3
after
a.m.
watching
eternal.
so many classic lines in this. Like let's show the
3
this show this
a.m.
bitch downtown what we do or something like that. That line. Do you remember that line?
Yeah. I don't remember exactly how
good
it goes, but yeah.
I give this film credit because it feels the climax feels very boss level, doesn't it? They really
Mhm.
ramp up to this ending. So yes, I mean obviously I like to subvert expectations and give it a bit of a damp squib at the end of the movie, but this really knocks it out the park. It really does do a good job, I think.
And she's like, "Are you a god?"
A god. Yeah. No.
No,
No,
Then
I'm Ryan
die.
Johnson.
Oh.
same thing.
Yeah. Oh.
And then
Try not to think of anything.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Thank you.
Yes.
And then it's like, oh fuck.
It
What
has
did you
been
do, Ray?
selected or chosen.
I couldn't help it.
What
It
did
just
you
popped
do,
in there.
Ray?
It just popped into my head.
If it was any of us, there'd be a giant naked Sigourney Weaver walking around.
Well, no, you're incorrect. If it was Reni, there'd be a 200-foot dildo walking through New York.
It wouldn't. It'd be a bag with dicks in it. That's what.
Oh my gosh.
Or a
So
Thala
maybe-
siren milking cow.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, so
I was
cute.
going to say, or a hot Aussie, but yes, absolutely.
So cute.
Where do they get the idea from for this? It's just.
If it was me, it'd be that guy from Brokeback Mountain saying, "I don't know how to quit you.
I wish I knew how to quit you."
I wish I knew how to quit you."
That's what he's saying right now. I can't quit you.
Oh, I always felt
Look at the
rather sorry for the Stay Puft man when he looks in pain here. I did rather feel for the chap.
I will
That's
say,
what
I
he gets
know.
for being evil.
Yeah, to be fair, I know exactly how he feels though. With
Well, what is-
Last Jedi,
Well,
we all have
yes, it
some
was like yes. There's,
What does Beckman say? He's a sailor. He's in New York. All we have to do is get him laid, and everything will be fine.
He's not a bad guy.
So they're crossing the streams.
Don't
Yeah.
cross the
oh, the risk.
Subverted
Crossing the streams
expectations
is
at the
bad.
end.
I thought the ending came up very, very quickly.
Yeah.
But as I was saying before, and as I said with Matt, we were saying that how brave they were because before they were doing stuff for money, but this is just a selfless act to save
Yeah.
the world. So they were.
And that's the shot of Ruin shooting his load when he's told he's got his new trilogy.
Yes, indeed.
That's a lot.
Well, I've been waiting a long time.
It's a
Was that was the health and safety guy getting covered in Ruin Johnson man fluid?
Walter Peck gets splashed. Yeah.
Shaving foam, by the way. Apparently, that's what they used for the Stay Puffed. Yes.
Yeah.
Sigourney Weaver is not a dog anymore.
No, she busted out of the dog.
Yeah.
Who does your taxes? He says to her.
And then, fuck yeah.
Celebration. They save the world. He gets the girl and they save the world.
Yeah.
That's right.
We can't have endings like that. What's ridiculous?
And my God, 1 hour 30. I think we've done very well tonight. So we'll do a sentence or paragraph for each person, and then we'll call it. So, Ruin, what do you think of this film?
Oh, look, it's one of the all-time great 80s, comedy adventure movies. It's stood the test of time. It's still being, reinvented today. It's inspiring new generations. Everyone seems to love it, and I, for that reason, absolutely hate it. So here we go.
Okay,
let me get my grubby hands on it, and I'll certainly make an absolute fuck up of that franchise.
Brown, you might not want to hit play. That might risk a
I'm not bothered because we're not monetized, so it doesn't make any difference.
Well, somebody else who isn't monetized got a copyright strike from the BBC the other day, just so you know.
Did they?
Yes.
BBC.
Was that the British Broadcasting Corporation, or was that Big Black Cock? Which one were we referring to?
British Broadcasting Corporation.
Okay.
Yeah, stream, Brown.
That's all right, Matthew.
I would say this is one of the holy trinity of my favorite movies from that time. Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, and Gremlins are just incredible. They're untouchable as far as I'm concerned. And it's from an era where movies were at their zenith. And we look back on that time now, and everyone tries to recapture that buzz, And this movie is indicative and perfectly representative of that the height of Hollywood, its ultimate power when they were making the greatest films ever. Who knew that was as good as it was going to get, But I mean, maybe one day we'll get something to hark back to this greatness. But and I'm fingers crossed. I'm praying that a future Ghostbusters movie will involve another bunch of potty mouth blokes smoking cigarettes and womanizing again. But until that day, this will be my favorite, and I'll always love it. It's just a phenomenal film in every respect. Even with its unfinished special effects, it still looks phenomenal today. Yeah,
it's good. It's good, mate. Stephen Moray in the chat. 2016 was a war crime. It was, mate, in more ways than one. Reni, have I asked you? No, I haven't. Reni?
Yeah. I just want to say I enjoyed the rewatch. It was a lot of fun. I forgot how great of a movie it is. I haven't seen it in a couple years. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it. And it's nothing like today's entertainment. And Tara, I see you in the chat. Just wanted to say hi and love you. That's it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Brian, have I asked you? I'm old.
Yeah, cracking film. One of my favourites. As Reni said, the same. I really enjoyed it in the rewatch. Surprised me about how good it really was. Sometimes you think it might be romantising the past, but no, it definitely holds up. Even today, even a couple of special effects that are slightly dodgy here and there, but mostly it holds up. Credit to Ramis and Aykroyd for the writing in it, as well as the humour throughout, and Murray's ad-libs, obviously. And I have to say that after this weekend, I'm pretty glad that it's been respected again.
Same here, mate. Same here. Ian, what do you think?
Yeah, I really like this film. Everything what everybody else said, I agree with. That's it, really. I mean, you can't really say much about this movie. It's a classic. It's stood the test of time. We all, you can watch it anytime and still, get something out of it. And it's, as Reni says, or was it Reni who said that? It's better than most films today.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Right. Okay. I think that's it, boys and girls. Obviously, we're using the clip, and we are allowed to use it on review purposes and fair play, blah, 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 blah. So if you don't like it, tough shit. I will thank everybody because basically this is the best advertising for their new franchise. So there you go. Oh, so right, everybody in the chat, I do appreciate you popping in as usual. All the usual faces, a couple of new boys and girls. So really do appreciate you popping in. Please like, share, subscribe if you are not already subscribed. I will thank the guests. So I will thank Reni. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. As always, it's a pleasure and it's an honor to be here with you guys. So much fun talking about the stuff that we love and having a laugh versus talking about the same old crap.
Really
so
shit,
it's
yes.
always fun. And Matt, Ian, Brian, pleasure as always. And Ruin, you were hilarious. I'm so glad you were here today.
My pleasure.
Swappers, cheers, my friend.
Thank you. Thanks to everyone else as well on the panel. I absolutely adore speaking to everyone like this on a weekly basis. It's wonderful. It's a little great outlet to look forward to. Thanks to everyone in the chat as well. You know, it's always entertainment as much as what we're talking about.
Thanks for
inviting me on.
Yeah, I genuinely think, as I've said many times, I think we've genuinely got the best chat on YouTube on a Saturday night, and I think the panel is pretty good as well. So, Brian, cheers.
Thanks very much again for the invite, Mr. Brown. Thanks to my superb fellow panelists and to the fine boys and girls and non-binaries in the chat.
Yeah. Again, I am old. Ian, thank you.
No worries. It's great to be speaking to everyone, and that includes Ruin.
Thank you.
No worries.
And last, but by no means least, the great man himself, Ruin franchise, hold it, son. Ruin franchise buster, Johansson. Thank you, my friend.
Oh, you're very welcome. I've enjoyed myself immensely. I brought my special logo along tonight for you all, and
beautiful.
Yes, I'll be getting naked and putting that stop sign around my midsection later on for Kathy. So look, what a pleasure, what a joy. Shill Wars finals this week, and I'm sure I will see you all very, very soon. I've now hit the trilogy of trilogy appearances.
9.
It's only onwards and upwards from here.
Yeah. So I'll just say to everybody, watch out for Shill Wars this week. Going to be very, very, very exciting. Cannot wait for next week. So I think that's it, everybody. So take care. I think we've got a guest presenter next week. Watch this space. So you are all wonderful. Have a great rest of your weekends, boys and girls. Take care. See you soon.